Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Progress with number 4 in the Tactics series. Tactics are so important to get better at chess. This is about tactics in the opening and particularly about tricky queen moves. The queen is such a strong piece, you always have to be careful that she can't capture one of your pieces with a double attack. That's what this video is about. Let me start by giving you an example. In this position, white plays e4, c5, the Sicilian defense, c3, d5, which is one of the main moves against the 2c3 move, e takes d5, queen takes, knight f3, bishop g4, bishop e2. All very normal moves played thousands of times. And here black makes another apparently normal move, e6. But then suddenly there is queen a4 check. And white already wins a piece. It's a double attack, check, and the bishop on g4 is hanging. So after 5 normal moves, white is already winning a full piece. Of course, e6 was a blunder. Almost every other move is fine. The main continuation is knight b8 to c6, and this is a perfectly normal position. But you can see how quickly things can go wrong if you're not careful. Let's look at another example. In this position, white plays e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the real Lopez, the Spanish opening, a6, bishop takes c6, which is one of the variations, d takes c6, white castles, and now you have to protect the e5 pawn with black, so f6 is the most common move here, d4, e takes d4, knight takes e4. All played thousands and thousands of times. This is one of the variations, one of the lines from the Ruy Lopez. And now, if black is not careful and just plays a natural move, bishop c5, the game is already over. Because there is another tricky queen move, queen h5 check. A double attack. It's check, and the bishop on c5 is attacked at the same time, and there is no way that black can deal with both threats. So again, white wins a full piece because black was not careful and put a piece on an unprotected square. The main move in this position would be c6, c5, attacking the knight, and that's a perfectly normal game. Queen h5 check does not make sense now, as black can just play g6, kicking the queen away, and the pawn on c5 is not unprotected, it's protected by that bishop on f8. Now that you've seen 2 of these tricky queen moves, let's try and solve one. In this position, it's black to play and win material with a tricky queen move. You can put the video on hold and look for yourself, because I will give the solution now. The move that should strike your eye is the queen d8 to h4 check move. For the moment that doesn't threaten too much, but black can prepare it. The move to play here for black is the pawn from a5 to a4, kicking the bishop, and that bishop is protecting the knight on c4. So white, for example, takes the pawn, bishop takes a4, and now our move queen h4 check does work. It's check, and black is attacking the unprotected knight on c4 and will win that piece on the next move. So a4, first kicking the bishop away, and then the tricky queen move, the double attack, check, and attacking an unprotected piece. Let's have a look at another one. In this position, it's white to play. Again, it's an opening position, and there is a tricky queen move that we can play. Of course, what should strike the eye is queen d1 to h5, threatening checkmate on f7 and attacking the unprotected bishop on c5. Looks good, but unfortunately then black can play queen e7, stopping both threats. So you can have a look at another option. And if you want to have a look in peace, please put the video on hold, because I will give the solution now. The solution is to first take on f7. Bishop takes f7 check. Then the king takes, and then you play queen h5 check. Because you're in check, that saving move queen e7 does not make any sense. You have to play the king, king f8, and then queen takes c5. White has won a pawn and also taken away black's castling rights. So again, a double attack was possible, but it had to be prepared with bishop takes f7 first. Let's look at one final example. In this position, it's black to play again. Again, there is a queen check, queen d8 to a5, but that doesn't do much yet. It's only giving a check. I'll give the solution now, so put the video on hold if you want to look for yourself. The solution is the pawn move e5, e4. A very strong move. Attacking the queen. The queen cannot take the pawn because the pawn is protected by the knight on f6. So the queen has to go to d1, for example. And then queen a5 check suddenly works, because it is check and the knight on f5 is unprotected. So white has to play something like bishop d2 to shield the check, and then queen takes f5 wins a piece. So as you can see, you have to be careful of the queen. Even in the opening, there are lots of traps. Making natural moves, seemingly natural moves, can suddenly cost you material. So watch out for tricky moves from the strongest piece in the game, the queen. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it instructive. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I'm looking forward to your comments. You also may want to check out my Chess to Impress channel if you haven't done so. There's a lot of material there as well. This is Rick from Chess to Progress. Thank you very much for watching.